Thanks for logging on to myfoxhurricane.com. So we are watching this now, potential tropical cyclone number 5. That's a name given to something when it doesn't quite meet all the criteria to become a tropical system. Doesn't necessarily have that closed center of circulation. That's the case right here, but it is expected to develop, and it's within reach of land areas. So the Hurricane Center wants to get out those advisories to start putting that messaging out there, because we've got a lot of islands down here. It's heading in that direction. It just isn't quite yet to that point where it has a closed center of circulation, but it's expected by the time it gets there that it will. So you look at this right now, fairly disorganized. The center, or what's trying to become the center, is somewhere it looks like over in this area here. Hurricane reconnaissance plane, they were just flying in the system, and they basically found, yes, it does look like it's trying to form a center, but it hasn't quite reached it just yet. So right now, winds are at 35 miles an hour. It's moving pretty quickly to the west at 26 miles an hour. But watch this forecast track as we go through the next several days. Expected to become a tropical storm. By the way, next name on the list, Ernesto. So as this eventually starts to turn towards the north, it's going to work its way into an area where conditions are conducive to see more and more development. So this is expected to become a hurricane and potentially a Category 2 hurricane, maybe even a little bit stronger as we head towards the weekend and into next week. The good thing is, once it gets through here, it's pretty much out over open waters, although you do have Bermuda in there. So they will be watching this very closely. After that, it will be working its way over open waters. So have to watch this pretty closely over the next several days and see exactly where this turn happens and what kind of effects Bermuda could have with this system. But overall, remember, we're still early on in this system, and we talk about this a lot. When you have these ill-defined or weak systems, the computer models usually are really struggling with it, and we are seeing some divergence with some of these computer models. But as you look at the European, the GFS, and our own exclusive Fox model, here it is, fairly tightly clustered, considering this is still a weak system, although you see some of the models a little bit further to the south. As we head into Thursday, really all the models are indicating we will see this turn towards the north. The European and our own Fox model showing us a little bit quicker of a turn with this, the GFS kind of lagging behind on that, and then eventually pushing on towards the north and eventually the north-northeast as we head towards the weekend. Here's a closer look with our own Fox model. Watch the development of this. We're still talking about tropical storm winds as this works its way through these islands. But then once it turns to the north, that's where we expect to start to see it really starting to gather more steam, get better organized, and start to see some of these hurricane force winds developing in this system as it works its way over these waters. Of course, remember, we have to watch for Bermuda as we head towards the weekend. So we'll be watching this very closely, what we're expecting to become eventually Hurricane Ernesto, and we'll keep you updated right here on myfoxhurricane.com.